and I hit ice. So I'm going down, and I'm going, well, now. So I said, I'll just stick my feet in the gutter, and that'll stop me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going through there. I stick my feet in the gutter, and it flipped me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it flipped me. Now, fortunately, there was snow down below, and I missed the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But I landed right on my
Miraculous.
back, right beside the sidewalk. And it took me a few minutes to get my breath and something, but was my brothers worried about me? No, it was
He
on
didn't- well,
NBC now.
As I remember, he didn't get it just right. He had to go back up.
Tom, you're the littlest one. Thank you. And we told my Christmas, about my Christmas present.
No, you
No,
go ahead.
tell him about the. We were, well, first of all, I'll introduce this by saying we were some of the great bike riders
Yeah, we
of
were
all
there.
time.
Well, I mean, we
I
could ride
mean,
bikes.
we were, whew. I mean, there's guys on doing that motorbike on TV that couldn't touch us. Is that the truth?
We thought we could, and so
We
I
were
guess
great.
we were pretty good.
So we got bikes occasionally for Christmas, and Tom got a real nice bike one Christmas.
Yeah, they gave me, I found out later it was a $5 bike. and
$5 was a lot of money back then.
And like I said, we lived on a hill. From our house, every way was down. We lived on top of the hill. And so they give me a $5 bike. Well, I take off down the driveway in my $5 bike, and it has no brakes. And I ended up in the ditch down there. Did a heck of a job of driving. I couldn't get in the ditch. Down through there. Meanwhile, Austin opened his new bike.
Yeah. And I got Austin's.
It was only an 8-speed.
Yeah, it was a bad year for Austin, wasn't it?
It was a bad year for Austin. Yeah, I'd say that's right. But I have to say this. I learned how to take and put my left foot. Now, first thing you did with bikes, so you took off all, unless you had a brand new one.
Yeah.
You took off all the fenders and stuff. You stripped it down. But I learned
Bare
how to take my foot and push it on the fork in the tire, and I could stop it like that.
Wow.
And sometimes.
I remember that bike just like it was yesterday. It was a black bike.
Yeah.
And
We'd ride that thing.
It was a
we'd
pretty
take off.
thing.
And I got where I'd ride it down there and get it down the road. So,
Before we got to golf, this one's maybe a little hard to visualize, but Sam and Tom were sharing with me earlier about Dad's birthday cake. Tell them about that.
And,
Dad
I'm sorry.
Dad had it.
I'm sorry. I gotta stop it real quick. I
Okay.
apologize. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's that 30-minute mark. I
That's fine.
apologize. I just need to. It just has to cool down for a second
That's fine.
for some reason. Sorry. I can still got this other one going here, but
That's fine. That's
he can
fine.
buy you a new one.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's one of the quirks of this
Well,
thing.
I tell you what,
I've
if you
never before.
syndicate this, you can afford
I
it.
started-
exactly.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
get
all-
those hits going.
Huh?
That's right.
We're off, aren't we? Are we
Yeah,
off?
yeah, we're off.
Yeah, we've been on.
I started telling one about, except it's kind of one-sided, about when you was telling about the bathtub.
Yeah.
Dad, I guess it's after he had his stroke, but we had just built that house, and Mary had put in her bathroom one of those jacuzzi bathtubs.
Right.
And Dad loved his bath.
Yeah.
So I went and picked him up, took him over and put him in Mary's jacuzzi
Oh,
bathtub.
nice.
boy, he was in high cotton.
And I bet you he was in there 20 or 30 minutes.
Did you turn the jets on?
He was,
Oh, yeah,
he was so relaxed he couldn't even stand up.
Hell, I couldn't get him out of there. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm there, and I can't, and I try to get a hold of him, and he slips out of my hands.
Oh, no.
And he's so weak
Yeah.
and relaxed,
Yeah.
he can't get out of there.
Right.
And I'm going, I'm trying to figure out how in the world do I get him out of there.
Right.
And I worked, and I'd pull on it, and then you couldn't pull
Right
on
there,
his,
it's right underneath the chair.
you couldn't pull on his arms and stuff
Yeah.
much.
Right.
Sorry.
And we're going through that and going through that, and finally, I took a stool, a little step stool, put it in
The
the
tub.
tub,
Mm.
got him up on it, and just bear hugged him and got him to the
Wow.
bed. They
Wow.
threw him on the bed. And I said, Alfred, that's the last time you're gonna be in that thing.
Well,
But I tell you what, if we hadn't had that fit, he would love it.
Oh
Well, I
yeah.
bet he did.
Well, if you remember when we put him in his hospital bed, he hated that hospital bed.
Oh,
Did he hate
God.
that hospital
Oh,
Good
yeah.
start inching.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So he's laying there and he sees this open area down there between the side rail and the end rail.
He started.
And he starts scrooching down toward it. He's getting out of that bed. So
Oh,
he's going
wow.
like this. He's scrooching down toward it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Mom's standing there with the control. She's standing there with the control. He gets about halfway down to the bed and she just raises the bottom. Dad goes, calm, fight.
I tell you what, she'd be
He hated
tough
that.
on him.
What?
Oh,
She
man.
was-
She'd be tough.
Oh, that's funny.
He hated that bed. Gosh, you gotta get me out of this bed.
We on the funny side, we've covered most of the stuff that I'd written down, other than golf. So we can go and do a little golf.
I apologize for this break, but yeah, it's going really well.
What was the story I was getting ready to tell?
And the good news is Mark's laughter in the background is not as distracting as
Uncle Ned's.
Uncle Ned's wheezing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. Uncle Ned's phlegm was the co-star, right? It'd be like,
Yeah, that is good. That's a good one, Mark.
yeah, it's true though.
Hey, what was the one I was getting ready to tell?
About, I think, what was it? It was about the
Well, the cake when y'all.
Oh, yeah, the
that came out.
Okay.
And I'm
So
sorry.
we don't
this-
have to do the cake. We can have that one for the kind of personal, and this will be golf.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
The cake one was. He might not want to tell. No, too good not to tell. As he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Too good not to tell.
Too good enough.
Dad, I don't believe I told that. Good enough.
Good enough.
Well, I tell people I make speeches about things I've learned in life that when I was even more intense than I am now, Dad used to say to me, says, "Son, if you're not laughing at yourself at least once a day, something's wrong." And that sounds simple, but he believed that. He did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He would see. Callum says, "Poppy, you laugh a lot."
Oh, does he say that?
Oh yeah. He'll go,
Yeah.
"Poppy, you laugh a lot." I said, "Well, I'm a very jovial guy."
Yeah. That's great.
And Dad was a very jovial kind of guy, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He had a good laugh. He could be the other extreme, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say generally his nature was jovial.
Yeah. Well, so I asked him, I said, well, my dad was a good dad, but he was a no bullshit dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll guarantee you some of the whippings we got.
Yeah.
Right now, he'd be in jail.
No, seriously.
Wow.
Oh, he'd just take a belt and pull your pants down.
yeah,
I mean,
just wear your
Wow.
Just wear your ass out.
He'd
Wow.
beat you.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a little pad. He just beat you
Well,
with a belt.
Wow.
See, that's what I go, Callum. He'll go, Poppy, we're coming up to stay with you. I'll say, the beatings will be on the hour. He loves that.
The last
beatings.
The beatings.
Last time Dad whipped me, of course, he'd like for you to take your clothes off. I think I was
Yeah.
down to my underwear.
Oh,
He had a belt. And I had these whelps on my legs.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, I'm going to go get me a pen and mark these so I'll never, ever forget them.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't do that. But, I mean,
He'd wear you out.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You ain't been hit. I don't know what. I don't you ever got spanked, but you ain't been.
When I used to spank
Wow.
Emily, she'd yell, child abuse, child.
I can hear Emily doing that.
Yeah.
I can totally hear Emily doing that.
She didn't have any context around that.
No, she didn't.
That's
She
funny.
didn't. Well, Tom and I, Dad had a plastic belt that had cowboys on it, didn't he?
Yep.
You remember that clear? Tom and I burned that belt.
You loved that.
Did it?
You never caught that. Caught us on that one, did he?
We burnt it.
No, I don't blame you. All right, I'm ready again. Whenever y'all are.
Okay, you want to transition to golf a little?
Okay,
About how
sure.
we started and all.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Okay. Tell us when you're ready.
Ready?
Okay. Golf obviously became a huge part of our life, but we really didn't know anything about golf until about 1957 or 58. And there wasn't a golf course here in Boone, but there was one over in West Jefferson. And Dad and Uncle Ralph bought a set of clubs. Sam, why don't you talk about it a little?
Well, we were in Asheville, and we were in a pawn shop, and Dad and Uncle Ralph were both left-handed. And we found they found a set of golf clubs for $40. Bob
with the bag.
Stewart autographs.
With the bag,
Yeah. And so Dad calls Uncle Ralph and he says, if you'll put up $20, I'll put up $20, and we'll buy a set of clubs. And that's what they did. And we
then
used
split
to go,
'em.
and they
They
split
split
them.
them, yeah.
And so we used to go on Sunday afternoons over to West Jefferson after church. We'd go over Sunday afternoon, and they had a little, like a hut almost, as I remember it. In it, there was a box, and it was on the honor system. You'd take $2 or $3, we can't remember which, and put it in there, and you could play golf all you wanted to. As I remember,
And-
they'd have
and-
little
and nine-hole
balls
course,
there, like
nine-hole
Tom said.
course.
9-hole course, but you could play all you wanted to. And when we would just play around and around, we didn't know anything about golf, didn't know anything about the rules of golf. We'd pull our cart across the greens, we'd lay our bag on the green.
Yeah, we didn't know anything.
We didn't know anything. Dad would put his feet to where if you putted, he put his feet behind the hole, so if you putted too hard, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
If you
And he
put
wanted
it too
to.
hard, it hit it, it'd go in, or if it didn't go in, you counted like you made it.
Yeah. I think it's important because I swear we played that way for close to a year, probably.
Yeah, probably.
We played 8 or 10 or 12 rounds, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Dad, on every putt, you need the visualization. My hands are crooked, but like this. And so you had about, instead of a 4.5 inch target, you had about a 10 or 12 inch target.
Yeah.
And speed was not a consideration. You could hit-
As long as you hit it hard enough on that line, it was in.
And so I know we played 6, 8, or 10 rounds of golf that way.
Yeah.
And then finally one day, Dad.
And then the term "that's good," Mother took that term "that's good" meant that you had hit the putt good enough it should have gone in, and so she wouldn't count it. So if you put 4-5 and it came next to the hole and you said "that's good," she took a 5.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. That is true. And I said something to Dad sometime.
Couldn't be.
But
But
I said, Dad, today you aren't putting your feet behind the hole or something. And finally he confessed.
Yeah.
And just said, that's not the real rules.
And looking back at that, happy as clams.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't have been happier.
No, absolutely. Well, explain the other important to get a visualization of this to contrast it to other great golf courses like Augusta National and others. It was a little different in the sense that the sand traps, there was no sand in the sand trap. Next door to the golf course, and I think that's who built it, there was a furniture plant, and the sand traps were filled with planer shavings.
Yeah.
It was literally they were the wood chips that they
From the manufacturing process.
Well, and why don't you tell them, Sam, about how long you hit it in those days?
Well, when we first started, I was probably 11 or 12.
That sounds about right.
So, and we were small. We were little kids. I mean, we were small even for our age. And so one of the holes, the fifth hole, was it the fifth hole or the fourth hole?
Fourth or fifth, though.
Fourth or fifth hole, anyway, was a 99-yard par 3, and I used a 2-iron on it. And it didn't make it. I was in the
And it's
bunker.
over a hill.
Yeah, it was a little over a little bit of a
Over
hill. And got in the bunker, and I made 17 on that hole trying to get out of that bunker with a 2-iron.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Yeah.
The logic of having a club that had loft in it to get the ball up in the air,
Yeah.
we missed that.
Way beyond our comprehension. And so, but like I say, we were.
You talk about. Go ahead.
No, you talking about having a good time?
Well, we had a good
had
time.
an incredible time.
But
And
we
it's-
got a little more hooked and a little more hooked, and I think it's for Austin's birthday. But anyway, Dad worked it out where we was going to go play Blowing Rock. Now, Blowing Rock at the time was the private golf course around, and it was a treat. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a heck of a treat
Yeah.
to go play Blowing Rock. And there wasn't one of us could still break 100, I don't guess. We
No,
did.
I'm
I
sure we
wouldn't
could.
think
I'm sure
so.
we could.
Anyway, and on this golf bag, they had this contraption on the side of the golf, one of the golf bags we had, which was a rain cover.
But
And
we
it
didn't
had
know
it had a strap around it like this, and there's a rain cover. And so here we are, we're going to go play Blowing Rock. And it's the 4 of us and Mom. And Mom figures out that on this golf bag, what was really a rain cover was a place to pack the picnic lunch.
That's right.
That was why it was there.
That's
It
right.
wasn't
That's
to
right.
be used.
No, we talked about it a lot, and we said, "What is that? What is that?"
So she packs our picnic lunch
That's
in the side of this thing. Well, at that time, is the seventh hole was a par 3.
Yeah.
So we teed off, and I'm sure we just beat and thrashed. I'm sure it was awful, and I'm sure
I bet it was
they stacked
unbelievable.
up behind us. It was unbelievable. I can't imagine.
I cannot
I mean,
imagine.
I've seen a lot of stuff.
Well, we didn't have, but I guess we had 2 sets of clubs. I bought them.
Oh, yeah.
Dad did buy the right-handers. We got a Maryland Smith ladies
Yeah.
used set. I think it cost more than that, $50 or $60.
Yeah.
And so we had.
I was using Dad's clubs.
He's
We
using
played out
Dad's
Dad's
clubs, and Tom and I were using the right-handed ladies clubs.
So anyway, we played the seventh tee. We get up there. It's the seventh tee's line of par 3 downhill. They got
Nice
these
view.
Yeah, got these benches behind it where you're supposed to sit. Mom said, "Hey, this is where we do a picnic."
Yeah.
They done fixed us a picnic place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I promise you, I've said this to Austin, saying, I can remember those people going through us just like trains.
I know.
And you lay us backed up behind us.
Oh yeah.
And so happy to see us picnicking.
Oh, yeah. They couldn't have been happier.
Could not have been. And did we finish 18 holes or
I
they
don't
run
know.
us off?
I don't know. I think we probably finished 18 holes that day.
I tell you what, it was a sad thing.
It was, but having been in the golf business, having a group like that on your golf course is just an absolute nightmare.
Nightmare. And you hear about it, not that day.
No.
The guy that plays next Sunday comes back in and says, I was out here last Sunday and Nate's guys out here. And I mean, you hear about it.
The worst
You hear
group I've
about
ever seen on a golf course in my life.
So we have paid for that. You and I have
Yeah,
listened to
yeah.
that enough. But it was, I cannot believe we were that ignorant. I can't even.
And I'm sure the only reason Dad was relatively well connected because he was running the bank.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm sure he asked somebody that was a member who asked, the pro over there as a special favor.
Yeah.
You know, we got a loan with this bank, and you know, he wants to bring his family over. Little did he know what group of rednecks we were.
Unbelievable.
That's true. That we were totally clueless.
It should embarrass us to this day.
Yeah, it should. But we're not that smart. You gotta be smarter than we are to be embarrassed.
There were a bunch of golf accomplishments. I want to talk about that. What else would be a funny one?
Well, tell them about the
Stay
playing
down
with
there.
Mom in the tournament, Tom.
Oh yeah.
At that time, we had a tournament that was a fundraiser for our golf coach, Francis Hoover, who was all 3 of ours golf coach, and we had good golf teams back then. But anyway, this is a fundraiser, and so that we'd have for the golf tournament, and I guess I had played Boone Golf Club, and that's I've graduated from college, started playing Boone Golf Club in 58, and this had to be 70,
Yeah.
2 or 3. So, I mean, I played Boone Golf Club a whole lot. And anyway, Mom's my partner in this tournament to raise funds for the golf team. And my mother was some competitor. Now, she was a sweet little lady, but she wanted to win. Anyway, we got this hole at the 4th hole, and it had this, you teed off across water, and then the green set up there right beside the water, and the water was right at the green. And so I hit it down through there, and so I hadn't probably got 80 or 90 yards into the green. And so Mom's sitting in the cart, and she goes, Tom, what you hitting? I go, I'm on a wedge, Mom. She was quiet a minute, and she says, Tom, you know there's water in front of that green. I hadn't played it but 1,000 times. But in her mind, that wedge might not have been enough.
She couldn't hit a wedge there, so she assumed she could. Huh?
Tom, you know there's water in front of that. She wanted to win.
No, she's competitive. That's for sure.
She used to outdrive Dad. Dad would drive with a 2-iron, and couldn't hit it very far, and Mom could outdrive him, couldn't she?
Yeah, she could drive it. Couldn't putt.
She couldn't putt. She couldn't see.
She did not want to cheat you. She had a little thing on her hand and kept her. And every time you hit it, it was made. So every time you hit a shot, you clicked it, and then you'd go and you'd click it again like that. Well, she'd get up on the green, she hadn't clicked it, and she'd go.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think she'd just give it another one. I don't cheat anybody.
That's true.
But now, Dad wasn't a competitor on the golf course, but my mother, when
Yes,
you
she
were
was.
on her team, she wanted to win, and she won a lot.
She did. Yeah, she took great pride in being invited by women who were more money and means and stature that belonged to Hound Ears or Blowing Rock or something. And she did a nice job cultivating friendships. And so she'd get invited to member guests, and she won several.
Yeah.
Well, she took them seriously. She'd go practice like 2 or 3 days in advance.
Yeah. She made a hole-in-one at
Age 76.
she made a hole-in-one at the
Mountain
golf
Glen.
course in Newland called Mountain Glen, and she didn't see the ball go in the hole because she didn't want to play slowly, and she would hit and she'd scurry over to the cart.
Yeah, she would.
And
She'd go to the car.
Yeah, she'd hit and scurry here and scurry there, and so she hits this shot on the 15th hole. She was using a 5-wood as I remember, so it was
Yeah,
probably 140 yards or something because she could hit a 5-wood about that far.
Yeah.
And so she scurries over to the cart and they go, "Hey Daisy, that went in." And she goes, "Did that go in the water?" And they said, "No, it went in the hole."
Yeah. I have to tell one on Sam. Sam and I were playing, I think with Ronnie Hunt. But anyway, we were young and we always carried our bag and stuff. And you always had this old nasty towel that you cleaned your irons with on your towel. Oh, that you carried your clubs. That's what the big boys did. They had a towel, so we had a towel. Sam and I are playing the 14th hole with Boone. And so Sam hits this tee shot and he's standing there and he's holding his finish like this, watching out through there where it goes. Well, I go behind him and I tee my ball up, getting ready to hit it, and Sam's ball hooked in the rough and he went wham!
Yeah.
And was going to hit the ground with his club when he hit my head.
Yeah, that's right. Right on top. Right on top.
Yeah. And so here I am, and it's cut, of course, and I'm bleeding like this, and we take this nasty towel and put it on my head. And so we're discussing, well, guess we better go in. Yeah, I better go in. So Sam sends me off to go in. He said, I'm going to go get my golf ball.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, it was a play ball.
Gotta have your priorities.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm going to talk about not all pleasant memories. Talking about Boone Golf Club and caddying. Tom does a nice job of that. I'm going to tell one real quick. We did work, and the pro at Boone Golf Club prior to Tom was just the most evil, mean, lazy SOB around. But I'll let Tom talk a little about that. But what was somewhat comical was we didn't know anything. He didn't know how to do anything. And so Boone Golf Club, we parked the golf carts beside the clubhouse. And for any of you who see this that don't know it, then it's about a 15 or 20 foot drop down to the putting green, immediately below it with a very steep slope down. And we didn't have a guardrail or anything else. Yeah. And there were old carts that were in 3 wheels in those days. You had one front wheel and then back. And so we had no guardrail or anything, and there was no sound to let you know whether you had the brakes on or not. And so
Or it in forward or reverse.
Or you didn't know it was in forward or reverse.
Right.
And we didn't think we needed to give any instructions to people renting their carts. And so about at least twice a month, people would go out there and get in the golf cart.
It's still in reverse.
Still in reverse. They thought it was in forward, and they'd push it, and the cart would start tumbling down, flipping over, going down.
I mean, they could get really hurt, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we had people injured, but in those days, it shows you what a crazy world. In those days, we never paid for anybody going to the hospital.
No.
We might have apologized or called them stupid. I don't know what. Maybe. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a different world. People couldn't read whether it was backwards or forward. That wasn't our.
Well, and it wasn't such a litigious society either.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody didn't sue everybody. They,
Yeah, I
they could
tell
have had a
this
great
story.
suit if they'd just thought about it. They'd thought about it.
I tell this story, and it's the truth that you can't imagine it. But you'd go there and you'd get a number, get the number we won't go into, but you'd get a number and
You're talking about caddying now,
Yeah.
right?
caddying. And if you were number one, that was the first caddy out that day, and so they'd call out number one in this tunnel that didn't have a light in it. And that, when I
Nor
say a tunnel-
oxygen.
And I mean, what I'm saying is the tunnel, it was on the back of a building, and the only light came from an opening over there on one side.
Right.
And they had a bench, and you sat there on this bench, and you waited for them to call out your number. I mean, you weren't, anyway.
And developed tuberculosis.
Yeah. And so, anyway, there was, at that time, I probably weighed 80 pounds, maybe 90. Maybe 90. And anyway, there were some brothers. There's 3 brothers called the Hollers brothers, and they is mean. Matter of fact, I think one of them ended up in prison. One of them got killed. But I mean, they were really not.
They were
They were pretty tough people. And so anyway, you'd sit in this place, in just kind of a dim place where you couldn't see. And like Sam said, the air didn't move or anything. You just sat
Very,
there.
very dank and
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, these guys would figure out ways to pass the time. So they'd go whack and hit you in the shoulder and say, pass it on. And so this one particular time, I was sitting there, I had a Hollers on either side of me. So this one Hollers hits me and says, pass it on. Well, I'm looking at another Hollers. He looks at me, and he looked at me, and he hit me in the shoulder and said, pass it back. And I hadn't even hit anybody. So it was not a very good environment.
Well, the aforementioned professional, when you caddied, you got $4, and if they tipped you, they normally tip you $1, which was a great job for a kid in Boone, North Carolina at that time.
Yeah, it was.
The problem was they paid in the pro shop. They paid the $4, and the aforementioned professional took 20% off the top.
No.
Yeah,
So you got $3.20.
or to sit back in a dungeon.
Yeah,
But we did
and develop tuberculosis.
walk 18 holes carrying very heavy leather bag.
With a strap about that wide.
Yeah, that's right.
Come home and the blood
Yeah,
vessels be bursting your shoulders.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
But
that's
those
true.
were good jobs. I mean, it was
It
a
was
high
a
pay.
great
And
job.
I think Mom took part of that money.
We were not flush, if that.
We had a savings account too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, yeah, but those were good days, though. We used to, and there were some really nice people that you would caddy for.
Yep.
And after you caddied for some people a few times, they would ask for you.
Yeah.
And there were some really nice. I used to love to caddy for Jack Swafford, who was a lefty.